Great to see everybody. We have had an incredibly exciting year at Bethesda Game Studios. Given some of that excitement, impressed you're still here.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our E3 coverage from the Inner Gamer. If you haven't done so yet, be sure and subscribe to catch all of our reactions for E3 2019 and the gaming industry as a whole as we drop our videos. Make sure you bang that bell so you get notifications as they drop. Today, we're going to be talking about Bethesda's press conference. Last year, Bethesda had their showcase that was all about Fallout 76, and it was super hype up until the game came out, and then the hype went from not great to not great. And Todd Howard came out on this show at the beginning of this press conference and was like, given some of that excitement from last year, I'm surprised y'all are still here.
Great to see everybody. We have had an incredibly exciting year at Bethesda Game Studios. Given some of that excitement, impressed you're still here.
And I was like, that is good. You understand, Todd Howard. You understand you fucked up. You done fucked up now.
He's saying sorry in the best way that he doesn't have to say he's sorry.
Exactly. So, and they realized that. I was listening to the interview with IGN Unfiltered, and he was sitting there talking about how if you look at every live service game, it never launches well. Like, look at Destiny 1. It was a hot pile of garbage. And then look at Sea of Thieves. It was a hot pile of garbage. And then look at freaking Anthem. Well, that's always going to be a hot pile of garbage. But most games started as a hot pile of garbage, and then they get better over time. So maybe there's some hope here. But first thing I want to mention is they talked about some Elder Scrolls Blades. So that's their game that I thought was out already, but apparently isn't. But now you can play it and jump in and do your mobile solo arena battles, get some custom jewelry. There's going to be arena modes and PvP. You can create your own guild. It's a full-blown RPG on the mobile phones. But they also announced it in fall. It's coming out on the Switch. Holy shit. You can play Blades on the Switch. So, Austin, if you don't want to play Skyrim on your Switch, you can now play Blades on your Switch.
Yeah, I didn't hear the beta was that good either, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, it's very mobile-y, I guess.
Yep.
I feel like there's definitely a fan base for it, but it's a mobile-y kind of game. So I'm not too hyped on it. But What they did follow up with after that, and this is all Bethesda Game Studio stuff. So you got Todd Howard on stage. He's talking about things. But then instead of him talking for 5 hours, he comes out and introduces Bethesda Game Studios and then says, let's have other people come out and talk.
Yeah.
So for Fallout 76, we had the people behind that game itself. And they announced a new update called the Wastelanders update that's coming out later this year. And the big thing about this update that they're adding to the game is human NPCs. Finally, in Fallout 76, you can talk to people. And I thought it was really interesting how they posed this, because they said that the first year of Fallout 76 is where you're exiting the vaults and you are the only one there and you are rediscovering society. And then now in the year 2, people are finally coming back. And I don't know where they went to, because I thought everything was post-apocalyptic and the whole entire world went to shit. But I guess they're coming back to West Virginia, and only West Virginia had a nuclear fallout. I don't really know, but that's the way that they're pitching it. So I'm okay with it, because we're going to have human NPCs with full dialogue trees. So might be worth jumping back into again. I don't know. Austin, you said the servers may suck still?
Apparently the servers still suck. I haven't jumped in a while. I don't keep up with it that much. Obviously, with the new expansion, I want to check it out. I don't have any hope, but, I'll give it a chance, because this is what we asked for from the beginning. We didn't think this was going to work. It didn't work, and so maybe now they fixed it. Maybe.
Yeah, I think it'll be it's definitely worth exploring, because it sounds like there's been a lot of updates that have been made to it, and they've done added a lot of cool new stuff that you can explore and interact with and do all this. And just the fact that there's NPCs, that's a big deal. And I think that can make it more exciting with our friends. I'm curious how that'll work with co-op. Are we gonna how are the stories gonna fall in place there? But there's a brand new full quest line that you can follow through, new rewards and things of that nature. But that's not all that they announced. They also announced something that's coming sooner. And it's a nuclear summer, I think is what they said, or nuclear winter or something like that. But basically, they're bringing Battle Royale to Fallout 76. So you can become an overseer of a vault. But to do so, they figured, why not drop you in a 52-player Battle Royale in this game within Fallout 76? Drop in, there's like apparently like dragons and like, you know, AI problems running around, in addition to 51 other players that are in the world with you. And there's a ring of fire that is circling in towards you. So I'm sure DICE was just like so pissed off when they watched this, realizing that, holy shit, they just took our fire idea. Those sons of bitches. So Battle Royale, Fallout 76. What do you think, Austin?
I laughed really, really hard when this came out because I'm like, apparently it was a joke, and I think we had mentioned it at some point. Like, that'd be funny if they came out with Battle Royale, and I
think you did actually. Come to think of it,
it actually is happening. I mean, I think it might work, but again, the controls for this game are clunky already. There's no like, I can't imagine playing this game with this. I mean, I'll give it a try because, I mean, I might as well at this point. I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll be fun. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm very indifferent about all of this. I mean, it's funny that Todd Howard comes out because I didn't think he'd show his face, but I mean, he is kind of like, he is the figurehead of Bethesda. For him to come out and kind of say he's sorry and at least acknowledge that, you know, this wasn't a big game or this was a complete failure, and I guess they're trying to fix it, but I don't know. The whole mentality that he'd said early on was, you know, these games like this come out and they're broken already. So, you know, it takes time to finish them. And it's like, okay, that's already a huge problem. And we've seen that over and over again. And Bethesda's kind of coming to this. I'm about to go on a rant here about how E3 or Bethesda's coming in, turning into EA or one of these big companies. Should I save that to later? Or do you want me to just go into it right now?
I mean, if you want to, go for it.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah.
I've noticed with this one, they have a lot of lights, you know, and it's very extravagant setup. And I was thinking back to when Fallout 4 was announced, and they just had, you know, they're in some stage where maybe they do plays at, you know, some concert hall or something. And it was nothing like crazy. I mean, it was good. Like, it looked great, right? Like, it looks professional. You're somewhere, you know, interesting, and you're showing all your stuff on some projector screen. And it wasn't this like huge show as it is right now. And I feel like they've moved dramatically away from like, hey, look at this game that we're making. Here's all the cool stuff. And now they switch to, hey, look at all these games we're making. You should get them. And then they deem this whole thing to be like, hey, this is for the fans. We're all about the fans. The fans are here at Bethesda. And it's almost like, oh shit, we gotta do something to bring the fans back. We've kind of really, really fucked up. So I feel like this whole thing was a huge apology. Like, oh, everything's going to be free this year, you know, type thing. And they're just trying to do some PR. At least they're doing it, and I'm very happy about that. And they have, you know, some brownie points in my book for that. But yeah, there wasn't anything that was like crazy. Oh, sweet. I'm so excited. Because obviously we can't get anything from Starfield or Test 6 yet. So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Lukewarm.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they did what they had to do with this. Like, they needed to come out and just kind of save face a little bit. And I wasn't expecting them to come out and say anything about Fallout 76, but I'm kind of glad that they did. Right. I think they did kind of get some points back for it. I mean, Battle Royale, like, I don't really care about that. Maybe it's gonna be awesome, maybe it's not. But I feel like in this space now, there's so many other Battle Royales out there that it's not worth people's time to invest in trying to become another Battle Royale until like the Battle Royale craze kind of dies off a little bit. So I think that was a problem, but the Wastelanders update sounds good, and it looks like they've done a lot of stuff to the game itself, and hopefully it runs a lot better. It's not as near as buggy as it used to be. So I'm gonna jump in and check it out. But I was glad, however, that and on the note of like the spectacle and stuff like that, like that doesn't bother me as much. I'm glad they fixed the stage this year, because last year's stage was super shitty, where it had that like double-sided stage thing that was just super awkward. This was just a nice, clean. I don't understand why the video screens on the right and left side have those vertical lines through them. I thought that was kind of, I mean, it looked cool, I guess, when there was no screen on it. But like when you're projecting video onto it, it was just distracting. And that was a weird decision on their part from a stage design perspective. But overall, I mean, it was nice. It was definitely a lot better delivered this year. And Bethesda's big. I mean, you see it in this conference here. Like, they are a huge studio or a huge company that does a lot of stuff. They may not be as big as EA, but I think they're up there. They actually might be beyond them. I'm not exactly sure, but they could be, kind of competing against them, especially with all the properties that they have now that are so vast in different areas, such as when Tango Gameworks came out, which is the creators of The Evil Within 1 and 2. And we had predicted that hopefully they do something new rather than going back and doing The Evil Within 3. And they delivered. They did announce a new IP called Ghostwire Tokyo. And it's a game that is set literally in Tokyo, and people start disappearing, and you have to find out why. And I've seen this character before in a trailer, like a teaser trailer. I don't know where I've seen it at, but I feel like it was within the last 6 months that was maybe teasing this game, but I can't remember for the life of me where I saw it. But this hooded figure with like a bow or like a sword or a katana, whatever that was it a arrow? He was holding like a bow, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was a bow.
Okay, that's what I thought. I've seen him before. He like saved some people from like nearly dying in like in a dark alleyway that looked like it was in Tokyo. And then he just like stood up and then said something to the character and then like walked away or something like that. I'm like, weird. I've seen this. But anyway, this game looks really good. I'm sure we're not going to see it for at least another year. But the fact that they're working on something that is new and different and not The Evil Within has me intrigued. So
I agree. Yeah, it looked interesting. I think the premise is interesting, and I am looking forward to seeing more. So,
The Elder Scrolls Online, they jumped into that a little bit. Dragonhold is their next final chapter in the Dragon kind of era of what they're doing. So I'm not an Elder Scrolls ESO fan, but apparently there's a huge audience of people that play it, and that Elsewhere expansion that just came out is pretty popular. They're adding a new dungeon in August called Scalebreaker that got a lot of people excited. I have no idea how that falls into the Elder Scrolls universe, but apparently there's some relationship there. And yeah, people were hyped on it.
Oh yeah,
Austin's even downloading Elder Scrolls Online.
I've given it. This is my third try to give it a go, and we'll see what happens. It just has not captured me like World of Warcraft has. There's something special about World of Warcraft, and you know what, Brett? I was even playing it the last few days. So.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding? Oh my god.
We won't talk about that though. Let's just continue on.
No wonder you haven't been available. You've been playing WoW. You've lost your life to WoW.
Thanks to Travis.
Oh wow.
Thanks to Travis.
Oh my gosh.
All right, moving on to the next
I'll just need to give up on that game. Okay. Anyway, so Commander Keen, I'm not going to talk much about this. It looks interesting. It's basically a Saturday morning cartoon that was id Software made back in the early 90s, and now it's a free-to-play mobile game that's coming out sometime later this year. So there's that. Elder Scrolls Legends has some new content coming out. That's cool. But Rage 2, that game was like, we did a review on it. You can go to theinnergamer.net and check out our review on our website. Or you can also, we did a video review of it too, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yes,
we did.
Yeah. So there's if you go to youtube.com/innergamer, which you're there right now, actually, you could check that video interview out and see what we said about it. But they're adding a bunch of stuff into it that just makes it way more zany and crazy than it used to be. And I kind of like what they're doing to it, because now I kind of want to play it, just because I've heard the story's not amazing, but the open world could be interesting if you add cheat codes like low gravity, which they have done, and pilotable mechs and new motorcycle vehicles and new story modes and things of that nature. They're adding new content to it like a live service game, and it's all free. So I'm kind of excited about that. Just to, if nothing else, jump in the game and like use cheat codes and do stupid shit in this world that is there for me to play in. So
Yeah, man.
hype train.
Good run to you. I'm done with that. Done with that game.
Yeah, you've moved on. Can I borrow your Steam account so I can play
Sure,
it?
why not?
Um,
I'm having a lot of the same reactions right now, Brett.
Yeah, I noticed. I know. You're just like, I just don't care about video games anymore. It's because we're getting old, man.
I guess.
Because we're getting old.
Hey, we're supposed to be critical about games. I'm being fucking critical.
All right. That's fair. That is totally fair.
Thank you.
Well, what about Wolfenstein Youngblood coming out this summer?
Okay,
it's
that's
a co-op game, July 26, 2019, and it's bigger than any previous Wolfenstein game, apparently. Like, WTF.
What the fuck? Well, you know what makes it even better is it is co-op. So hell yes.
Yeah.
Give it to me. Go back,
Wow.
listen to our review when we replayed Wolfenstein earlier this year, and we gave it high props. So
Yeah.
I'm pumped.
It looks like more Wolfenstein, except now you can play as the female versions of BJ Blazkowicz because they're his children, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Like, what more could you want? And it's in the 80s, so it's got like this 80s vibe going on that could be really interesting. So
Hell yeah. I'm
all
excited.
about it.
I'm excited.
Another prediction that we had, Arkane Studios came out on stage and mentioned, oh yeah, we've been helping with the Machine Games team on Wolfenstein Youngblood and their Wolfenstein Cyberpilot game that they also kind of made mention to. But they're also working on another game, and it's not Dishonored 3, and it's not Prey 2. It's another new IP called Deathloop. Like, this came out of left field. And this is a game that transports players to the island of Black Reef with a struggle between two assassins. You get to explore environments that are stunningly and meticulously designed and immersive gameplay, just like anything you've ever experienced with Arkane. Lets you approach every situation the way you like. You hunt down targets all over the island to put an end to the cycle once and for all, because basically you're stuck in a time loop, a death loop, literally, and you're trying to find and break your way out. I'm excited. I don't expect to see this for like probably until 2021, but it looks pretty interesting.
It struck me as like a battle royale kind of, because you die and die again
Oh,
and
yeah?
keep coming back. But I don't know. We don't know too much about it. It could be a campaign, like a full-on single player.
It's single player.
Yeah.
It'll be a single player one. Single player, like action, not stealth though, like just action shooter kind of game.
Right.
But
right.
I was pleasantly surprised by that, and it was nice to see a brand new, fresh IP that we haven't seen, where we didn't get a whole lot of that in other places. So, I'm glad to see they're working on something new and fun.
Yep.
And something else that was announced that was kind of out of left field, but really, really interesting, is Orion. And Orion is a new piece of technology that Bethesda is working on in response to these new game streaming services that are coming out. And one of the biggest concerns that everybody has about game streaming is latency, and games not being able to, perform very well if you have bad internet or what have you, or you just have, slow service and somebody in your house is downloading bad things and you're like, well, crap, now my game won't play. So they're building technology and getting ahead of this process by creating tech that can be built into the game engine to allow for 20% faster streaming per frame to reduce latency in the games that are using this technology, meaning Bethesda games. And then potentially they'll sell this technology to other game publishers and developers. So this would reduce the cost both for players and publishers using existing tech. So this isn't a streaming platform that they're developing. It is it's going to sit in complement to the other streaming services that are out there. So if you get Google Stadia and you download Doom Eternal will likely run better than, say, a game from Division 2, because of this new tech that they built into their game engine that's optimized for game streaming. And I find that to be pretty awesome, that they're thinking about that stuff this early in the game before even game streaming is a thing yet. And they're like, hey, let's get ahead of this now so that people can experience our games the best possible way on this new technology that we know that they're inevitably going to be playing on.
They've probably been talking about this for like anywhere from 3 to 5 years prior to now, obviously, because they've been working on it. I think... Well,
of course, yeah. But before it hits retail stores and stuff like that, they're like, hey, let's beat all the other publishers to the punch and make sure that our games, whenever it gets in consumers' hands, run awesome.
Right.
So that they get a solid experience. And not everything will be shitty. And they showed a live demo on stage, which I was like, wow, hopefully that was real.
Yeah, but say that.
Yeah.
I don't even know. It could be whatever.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
But it was on a phone.
It is interesting. Yeah, it was on a phone. I was like, wait, what? I guess you're streaming it to your phone to play on it? Like, I didn't get that. I guess that's Stadia. I guess they're using Stadia. I don't know.
No, it wasn't Stadia. It was their own They built a piece of software for this particular thing. So, like, if you sign up for that slayersclub.com and you'll get an invite later on to just play exclusively Doom 2016 in 4K 60 frames per second just to see how the technology operates. So, it's basically a tech demo that they created where they took Doom Eternal or Doom 2016, put it into this like UI that they created for phones to allow you to stream the content from a server and test out what this technology can do once you apply it to Google Stadia and Project X Cloud and things like that.
Gotcha.
So
cool,
it was pretty interesting. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Which leads us to the last thing, Doom Eternal. And they were really big on pushing, more stuff will be available at QuakeCon for the Year of Doom, now titled DoomCon. But they had a lot to show here, and I'm just still more and more excited because it's a gamey ass game, but it looks insane and awesome and just crazy and fast and just blowing shit up left and right. And I absolutely love it. Like going from different dimensions, heaven, hell, the Sentinel homeworld, all over the place. And they gave us a release date of November 22nd, which unfortunately is 7 days after Death Stranding and Pokemon Sword and Shield release. So we're going to be busy.
Oh, storm is brewing.
Yes.
Not good.
Yes.
Not good.
I'm kind of scared.
Yeah, what are you going to play, man? You have no time.
I still got to play games from the last 2 years.
Jeez, it's going to get to the point where if you don't make it through the year of games, you are
might as well
fucked.
just give up on the year.
You're so screwed.
Just move on.
Yeah, move on, man. Now, it looks really awesome. I mean, I've been excited since we saw stuff last year, and we're definitely going to be at QuakeCon, or they're calling it DoomCon this year, and we're definitely going to check out everything they have to show us. I'm sure they're going to have some cool stuff for press, which we will be attending as, and I'm excited to bring some awesome gameplay that hopefully y'all haven't seen yet to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, so this will be at the end of July when that's happening. And they announced that multiplayer, which I didn't know Doom Eternal. I could have swore last year they were pitching that Doom Eternal was not going to have multiplayer at all. And then now they're adding in a battle mode.
Oh,
literally
no,
called battle mode.
That was the thing they were pitching, because people can spawn into their world. That's one aspect of it. And then now you can have your own mode playing with enemy.
So I guess they never explicitly said, because the thing that people didn't like about Doom 2016 was the multiplayer, because it's just shitty. Right. So I was like, oh, that's cool that Doom is just, instead of putting actual multiplayer in there, they're just doing drop in, drop out, Dark Souls style stuff. But it looks like they're also making a mode. But this could be good. This could not be. This could go both ways real fast. It's 2-player controlled demons going against a fully loaded Slayer. So they pitch it as strategy versus skill. So one player's got the skill, the other person's got the strategy, and it's basically just 3 people in the match, and they're fighting against each other. And the 2-player controlled demons can actually spawn AI demons to attack the Slayer. So that's interesting to me. So it's kind of like a asymmetrical multiplayer experience akin to the Evolves or Friday the 13th and stuff like that. But in this case, it's Slayer versus demons.
Right. I don't know how I feel about it. I just don't know if three people in the match doesn't sound fun to me. I want 5 on 5.
Apex Legends? I'm just kidding. That's just 3 people in a squad, but yeah.
Well, yeah, against a lot more people.
I know. Yeah. It could go both ways, but it's just a supplement to it. It might be just like Doom 16, where 2016, where you just don't even play it and it's just there. But I'm anxious to play it at QuakeCon, so it'll be there ready to play and check out. So there you have it. So that's Bethesda. That's everything that Bethesda announced today. as we watched it. So I felt like it was a pretty good showcase overall. I mean, there wasn't anything like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. But I was excited to see 2 new IPs. I was excited to see them kind of redeem themselves and some of the things they screwed up on. And like Doom Eternal, I'm pumped about that. So at the end, they have a pretty good lineup of stuff, and solid conference overall. There wasn't any other than I wish they had brought out somebody from Tango Gameworks that spoke a little bit better English. Nothing against their English, but it was a little bit hard to understand. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it was pretty solid.
Yeah,
across the board.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
awesome.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, perfect. All right, well, everybody, that is going to wrap it up for our Bethesda coverage. Don't forget to like our video and leave a comment below to let us know your thoughts about this topic. And also make sure you subscribe and follow us so you can see all of our reactions for E3 and more from our videos on the gaming industry as a whole as we drop content each and every week right here at youtube.com/gamer. Thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you next time.